Something weird is happening around Superboy, where strange events occur even before the cause actually happens. What's going on here? And who are these people coming out of this portal? Are they villains? Okay, in this video, we're going to break down the latest Action Comics from DC, issue 1096. For those of you who clicked this video, thanks a ton, and I hope you enjoy the story. Without further ado, let's leap in. So, this arc starts in Smallville, a few years back. Just a quick heads up, if you haven't kept up with Action Comics lately, we're basically in a flashback era. It's the time when Clark Kent still lives in Smallville, and he's still a high schooler. He's already a superhero though, going by the name Superboy. Hope that clears it up. Anyway, back to the story. We're introduced to Professor Louis Lang, Lana Lang's father. Louis is a pretty quiet guy, unlike his daughter. One rainy evening, he's walking down the sidewalk and passes by Clark. After they pass, Louis keeps walking until suddenly something shocking happens. Out of nowhere, a massive tree right in front of him looks like it was just struck by lightning. Or maybe hit by a laser. Basically, the tree explodes and a huge chunk of wood goes flying right toward Louis. Luckily, Clark is right there. In an instant, he rips off his hoodie and flies at lightning speed. Louis freezes, unable to move, like it's his final moment. Until finally, Superboy pulls him away just before that massive branch hits the spot where he was standing. Well, that was close. After being saved, Louis says he doesn't get what happened. He didn't even see any lightning. But then, only after that, the lightning actually strikes the tree. Huh? How is that even possible? They're both confused. How could the tree be destroyed first, seconds before the lightning actually hit it? Yeah, it's super weird. Anyway, Superboy asks Louis about what people said, that Louis was so focused on his notes that he wasn't paying attention. But Louis refuses to talk about it and tells Superboy they'll find out soon enough. Then Louis just walks away, leaving Superboy totally puzzled. A bit later, Clark and his friends, Pete and Lana, go on a trip to Metropolis, invited by Pete's mom. They visit the Expo of Tomorrow, a place Clark has been to before. An excited Lana runs to the spot where Superboy was first seen, which is now marked with a gold Superboy logo. Looks like Lana is a huge Superboy fan. Clark then asks Pete how his ice cream tastes, but Pete says something strange. Pete says his ice cream doesn't seem to run out, even though he's eaten a lot of it. Lana says the same thing about her ice cream. It's like it's bottomless. Clark starts to feel this is very wrong. He knows Pete eats pretty fast, so that ice cream should have been gone by now. Then he overhears a mom and kid nearby. The mom asks why the kid's arm is hurt. The kid says he doesn't know why he has a scrape, and only then does the kid fall down and actually hurt himself. Okay, this is creepy. Something happens before the action, just like the tree hitting Louis. Clark is genuinely confused about what's going on here. Clark looks around in every direction, trying to figure out the mystery. He sees people clapping for a street guitarist, but the clapping is silent. There's the sound of a balloon popping, yet the balloon is still whole. A few seconds later, the balloon pops, but without any sound. Something's very wrong here. On the other side, Clark sees a wooden crate being lifted by a crane. The workers below are trying to guide it, until suddenly the crane cable snaps, making the crate fall. Or it should have, but the crate just floats in the air, leaving the workers stunned. Then suddenly, the crate drops at high speed, pulled by gravity. Luckily, Clark blows a powerful gust of wind, pushing the workers out of the way so they don't get crushed. Clark assumes this might be his new power. Makes sense, since he's just a teenager and hasn't fully mastered his abilities yet. Walking behind Lana and Pete, Clark is still thinking. It's like everything around him is disconnected from time. Suddenly, his clothes transform into his Superboy costume, startling him. Instinctively, he flies off instantly. Luckily, when Lana looks back, Clark is already gone. So Pete and Lana are just left there confused. Up in the air, amidst the grand buildings of Metropolis, Clark tries to find a pattern. Something happens, followed by the cause. This means if Clark turned into Superboy, there's likely a situation where Superboy is needed somewhere. But the question is, where? One thing that makes a difference, though. Smallville, his hometown, is a tiny place. Meanwhile, Metropolis is one of the biggest cities in the world. Wherever Superboy flies around this city, there's bound to be someone who always needs his help. In a city this big, there's always someone in danger or getting into trouble, whether it's something small or a major crisis. As we can see in these panels, Superboy is helping everyone in Metropolis, from stopping street thugs to chasing down villains in a getaway van. Honestly, I think this is great practice before he finally becomes Superman a few years later. But through all of this, one thing Superboy realizes is bad things and danger are everywhere. And no matter how fast he flies, he just can't be in two places at once. This starts to make Superboy panic, even though deep down, he knows this is exactly what he'll be doing for the rest of his life as Superman. But hey, Superboy is still just a kid. He's only 15. He hasn't learned how to handle that overwhelming pressure yet. He really just wants to go home to Smallville, just to have his parents calm him down. Instead, his memory flashes back to when Clark first discovered his powers. When Clark was scared, Martha was there to soothe him and make him stronger. Everything happens for a reason, and maybe there's a big reason behind Clark's super strength. Because of that, Superboy tries to pull himself together. He calms down and gets back to helping those in need. He uses every bit of his ability to protect anyone in harm's way. And that includes saving a little puppy that almost got hit by a car. The result? Clark gets his confidence back. On this page, we see Clark lifting a car that's about to fall off a bridge. Superboy looks totally calm and composed. Then, as he prepares to head back to the expo, he starts hearing voices around him. One specific voice calls out to him, "Superboy, can you hear me? Wait, who is this?" Superboy rushes into the Space Museum, only to find the building suddenly transforming into the Fortress of Solitude. Okay, so my take is that Superboy doesn't actually know about this place yet. Then the weirdness fades back to the Expo of Tomorrow, before shifting again into what looks like a storage room. Honestly, I'm a bit lost on what's happening here. Superboy looks back and finds some kind of communication device that keeps calling his name. Even though he's confused, he tries to get closer. But then, flashes of memories appear as he approaches. It looks like this is making it really hard for him to move. But Superboy keeps focusing and concentrating until finally, he reaches the device. The device says, "Superboy, help." But who is using this thing to contact him? Totally clueless about what's going on, Clark leans in and asks, "I'm here. Who is this?" Suddenly, a massive sonic wave blasts out of the device, so powerful it knocks Superboy back a few steps. But here's the cool part. After the wave clears, a dimensional portal appears, something Clark has never seen before. Out of the portal step Martian Manhunter, Mary Marvel, and Booster Gold. Looking at their costumes, they've gotta be from the future, which means Clark has never met them before. When Superboy tries to ask who they are, Booster Gold just tells him they need to run, fast. Martian Manhunter says they're being hunted, and they need to get away from the civilians. Clark is beyond confused. He just met 3 people from a weird portal, and they're already telling him to bail. Finally, Clark and the other heroes fly away from the portal as small explosions start popping up around them. Superboy keeps asking, what exactly are they running from? And Booster Gold answers, him. Right at the portal they just came through, a giant yellow robot appears with glowing red eyes and square-shaped hands that look like they can shoot lasers. What is this thing? Does anyone recognize this robot? Okay, so that's the latest issue of Action Comics, issue 11096. This is a new arc continuing Clark's teenage years. In my opinion, the story is decent, but maybe not mind-blowing yet. What do you guys think? Thanks a lot for watching this far. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Comic Leap so you don't miss the rest of the story. Okay, Comic Leap signing off for now. We will see you on the next leap.